Welcome to the 19th episode of The View from Here. Today is November 16th, 2017. I am quite excited about today's program. We have got 3 remarkable music videos which I think you can't help enjoy. 2 of them show the glass harp played by 3 outstanding musicians, and we will end with an incredible piano duo playing some ragtime swing type music. About 90% of our program today is music, fun and refreshing. But first, a few words about 2 not so funny subjects. On mass shootings, I'll be brief. Yes, we can do it. We can do what it takes to keep war-type machine guns out of the hands of mentally deranged persons. A large bipartisan majority in our country wants this. We all need to speak up until it finally gets done. Second topic, please do not buy the media's scaremongering on Russia. Our military-industrial complex is preparing us to accept that we need to attack Russia. But it's the US that wants to be the world's empire. The United States has more than 800 US bases around the globe, and the US by itself spends more on its military than the next 8 large nations combined. So please question what you hear or see about the dangers of Russia. Find responsible counter-views on the internet, such as, for example, Truthdig. You can find that one, which I think is a good one. Let's now go to the side camera here, because there's a cartoon that helps us think about these matters. This is a wonderful cartoon without a subtitle. It doesn't need it. What you're looking at is this mass of white sheep is herd going over the cliff, and the one black sheep, and in the bubble here it says, is going the other way, and it says, "Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me." I thought it was a great cartoon to remind us not to become part of herd mentality. All right, now let's get started on the music that is played on glass. You know that you can get a clear tone when you rub a wine glass on the edge. If you set up an array of smaller and bigger glasses, you can tune them to a scale and therefore have a possibility of making music if you can handle jumping around to the different glasses. Music made this way goes all the way back to 12th century China, and a bit later Persia, and in Europe we have a beginning in 1492. Over time we have seen this kind of music become popular and then dwindle away and becoming popular. One of the upswings was in the 18th century in Ireland, Germany, and then Benjamin Franklin in the United States. He invented a kind of glass organ that is called the harmonica. And we'll take a look at that now here on the side stand, and I'll put it over here. This is Benjamin Franklin's glass harmonica. What he did is he had a glass blower in London that he worked with make kind of cupped wine glasses, well, the top without the bottom, just the top part of it, and they were then, I guess, fused onto a spindle from the low tone, larger ones to the smaller on the right. And by touching your fingers on the rims of these glasses, you could make music that became actually quite popular in the time of Benjamin Franklin on the turn from the 18th to the 19th century. And actually Mozart and Beethoven, for example, wrote some special music for this. But then again, in the 19th century, this kind of popularity of glass music faded away until the 20th century, when it was picked up by somebody in Germany called Bruno Hoffmann, who helped to bring this one back into popularity. He was using wine glasses. And the interesting thing about wine glasses is that though it is hard to jump around from one glass to another, I think I've heard a glass harmonica like this. I've also heard the glasses. I think you get a fuller sound from the glasses, which is why the three musicians that I'm going to show you, again, those three musicians are all using wine glasses rather than this type. And we'll start soon with a duo, a couple, Polish musicians. They're married. They both were members of the Baltic Symphony Orchestra, and then kind of retired from that and put all their efforts and time and money, I think, into developing their kind of glass organ. And we will hear them play Morning Mood and Anitra's Dance by Grieg. We'll soon have it starting here. Watch those hands when this begins. An awesome skill is shown here by this duo. 4 hands moving around and 2 people moving around each other. Actually amazing. And they have no water in their glasses. We will talk more about that later. All right, let's have video A. there you had Anna and Arkadiusz Szafraniec, Polish couple, consummate musicians, as you can see. This is the kind of play where even if you wanted to look at music, you couldn't possibly do it because obviously you would need all your attention to see where your hands are going. They had 3 white pads in the back, you may have noticed, where they wet their fingers because their glasses do not have water in it. They were able to come up, they went through a couple of thousands glasses, I understand, to create this organ where each glass, without any fluid in it, is just at the right pitch. With the great advantage, they will not have to retune it. And one more thing about what you watch with those hands. A friend of mine described what she was watching here, and she was just as enthused as I am about this music. It's almost as if you see hands doing sculpture, because they're not moving around only over a large area. And just see, they have about, it's, what is it, about 6 to 8 feet length and depth. They have to move over a large area, which you don't happen to have in any other music instrument. What they do with their hands cannot be compared with any other music instrument. And then, when they have a sustained tone, they have to keep their finger on there and follow the curve of that particular glass, which of course for the lower pitches is a much larger curve, a wider curve, it's a larger diameter than for the small ones. And that's why those hands almost seem to be sculpturing music. That's the way I'd like to put it. All right, now the next one that you're going to see is an American, Robert Tiso. Maybe it's pronounced Tiso, but I'll say Tiso until I know better. He is also a great musician, but he is just all by himself. And I guess knowing about duos doing this music, he came up in the next one you will see with the idea of dubbing himself over. He plays one part on his music organ, which, by the way, has water in the glasses. You'll see the water move. Then he dubs a second part over the first part, and he goes further than that. You'll see 3 Robert Tisos playing with 6 hands, playing 3 parts. He goes actually to 6 parts, and you will see in one frame 6 Robert Tisos playing with 12 hands, which does enrich the music that he plays, which will be coming up now. Moldau's, Smetana's Moldau, the Moldau it's called. And let us go watch Robert Tiso now. right, so now you've had two pieces with glass organ, and we are going over now in the next one to from classical to ragtime swing type music. This is a duo that also happens to be married, Stephanie Harp and Paolo Alderighi, Italian, who still speaks English with a strong Italian accent. They met somewhere, and both of them got a classical music education, are excellent pianists, but later on gravitated toward more faster modern music. And they are often playing on one piano, which is great. But what you'll see is two pianos, and they are doing The World is Waiting for the Sunrise, which you will recognize, I think, as a melody. Starts with a slow, dreamy, poetic introduction by Paolo, and then the two of them take over, and it really speeds up from there. Enjoy it. Here we go. I'm sorry about that, but we are running out of time. You have heard almost all of it. You can find more of it on the web. And the next time we will have quite a bit of music too. If you enjoyed today, you will enjoy the next time. Thank you for listening in, and we will see you next time.